Hi, I'm Intruder Green. You might know me from things like The Silver Ballroom, Subin Abbey, and Social Bee. Welcome to the Intruder Green podcast. It is the 28th of July, and I know it's been a while since I came out with an episode, and it's the same old story, just lots of stuff getting in the way of that happening, but I'm trying to get two done before the end of the month so that I can meet the quota or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, on this episode, I got Stefan SBAM. I can't remember what his real last name is, but he basically does this, I don't know, it's like a multi-tiered kind of thing, but it kind of started out with doing this festival called SBAM Festival, and he's over here in Europe, and it's a real cool thing that he's doing. And I think you should probably come get into it. And I don't know. He's got a whole lot of cool stuff going on. He's putting out music and stuff. So he's kind of like the European Don King of punk rock. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to the producers of the podcast. We got Luke Ellis, Ren Sanz, Hedda Royston, Gem City Sabrina, Sarah Koenig, Audacity Crash Clothing, Chelsea McNally, Cardboard Box Colony, and Carlos Hernandez. Thanks again, guys, for sticking with me. I know I keep talking about doing all this crazy stuff, and I got the studio all set up, and there was some crazy stuff going on where I couldn't get in there for a little bit too, which also led to me not being able to get some stuff done. Whatever. Basically, I lost the keys. All right, but yeah, I want to do some more Intruder Green's cocktail hours and do some live stuff for you guys because you guys deserve it, and I love you all. But anyway, I'm going to make it short and sweet so I can get on with the rest of the stuff to do. Without further ado, on with the show.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Intruder Green,
an inmate at the Rural Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1.
Here. So it's Stefan, right? Or Steven?
Yeah. Stefan. Yeah, exactly.
Stefan. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I know you're from. Are you from Austria originally?
I'm from Austria originally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know some Germans. I'm actually in Germany right now, so we're not too far apart here. Yeah.
Where are you in Germany?
Oh, I can't say because it's an undisclosed location. But it's I'll say it's somewhere. It's not Dresden and it's not Berlin, but it's somewhere near both of those, and it's a big city.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps. Yeah, I'm in the East. So, but anyway, yeah, I was just saying, I've heard that a lot of different ways to pronounce your name in Germany. Or in this area, it's like Stefan or Stefan, or I don't know. I feel like there's 5 different ways, but they're always spelt the same, and I'm like, what the fuck? How do you? It doesn't make no sense to me. But I'm just American,
care.
So whatever. Yeah, you don't care.
Stefano, right. Stefan. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I probably won't call you Steven because that would just be weird.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to talk about today, right, is SBAM or spam.
Yeah,
right?
spam, yeah.
So pretty much I don't know. And correct, can you refresh my memory? Have we actually met?
Nah, I booked you for the last two Spam Fests, I think,
Yeah.
but they all got canceled because of the
Yeah.
COVID
Yeah.
situation. So
I wasn't sure because I remembered like talking to somebody about a festival like years ago, and I wasn't sure if that was you, but I think it was a different European festival over there.
maybe we met. I was in Zurich 6 or 7 years ago. You played there with,
Yeah.
I think, Social Distortion, Teenage Bottle
Oh,
Rocket.
hell yeah. That was a great show.
Yeah, maybe we talked then, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, right on. Well, anyway, yeah. So S spam.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call it SBAM. I don't know if you get that a lot, but I don't know. It's just
Most of the time, yeah.
because when I think of spam, it's hard not to think of like the, spam with a P, like the food
Yeah.
that people who live in trailer parks eat and stuff, and it's delicious. But like spam, I can get it. Is that like a play on your name or something?
Yeah, it's a play with my name. It's Stefan and BHAM, and so
Okay.
I tried to create a word, and then spam came out, and I think it was a pretty dumb idea at the beginning because all my emails ended in the junk folder. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure. That's funny.
but it was too late to change.
But you what?
It was too late to change the
Oh,
name.
too late to change. Yeah, it's like now you're in it, so it is what it is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's good. Just like calling your band Masked Intruder. It's like it's a little on the nose, huh, guys? All right. But yeah, years later, it's like way too late to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. But so how did it start though? Like you've been doing this festival for like a long time now, right?
The festival exists since 2018.
Okay.
I started doing graphic design for bands in 2016, something like that.
Okay, so that's kind of like, was that kind of like how you really got started, was doing like graphic design stuff?
Yeah. I was always into punk rock, but then I started graphic design, and yeah, all this came together with when I made my first poster for Joey Cape
Oh, cool.
and Pedestrian Out and Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, and then I was invited to a show from the Gimme Gimmes in Amsterdam, and then I met the guys from Destiny Tour Booking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so this all started, and yeah.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
so you really like been in it, like making like fucking flyers and shit, probably doing like album covers and whatnot.
Yeah, I was a graphic designer. I was a creative director for big agencies, but this
Yeah.
all became boring, and I always
Yeah.
wanted to do some posters and album covers, and yeah, and
Yeah.
I just tried it, and yeah, it worked out pretty well, and I always loved doing club shows, so I started doing some club shows in my hometown.
Like booking, you mean?
Yeah. And then I tried to create a festival. Yeah, the first one was pretty small for 300 people, and then it.
Well, that's the
became
way
big.
to go, though, right? You don't want to like I've had this conversation before where it's like people get a bunch of money to start a festival and they try to like way overdo it, and then they just end up going bankrupt, and they're like, "Well, can't do that again." But like when you do it kind of like the way you're doing it, where you said you started out with like 300 people, that tends to work better because if you lose, you're probably not going to lose too much, and you could still maybe do it again the next year, and you can afford to like grow it from like a tiny seed or something.
Yeah. But we never had sponsors or something like that. I always put my money into the festival. So yeah, it's a lifestyle, and I really love punk rock music, and I love doing festivals.
Yeah.
But the first two festivals, I didn't make any money out of it. So the last festival in 2019 was the first one that was successful.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the pandemic came.
Yeah, right. And now everybody's screwed. So yeah, but I wanted to like comment on what you said about, the thing for me was like even booking shows, because like, I don't know, me and Red messed around with some, booking stuff back in the day. And it was always kind of like, I don't know if I could ever do it for like money, like regularly to rely on, I guess I could always just bail out and just go back to crime. But for me, it was always like the same thing you were saying was like, it gets boring because you like, if you're working for an agency or something, you got to deal with like bands that you probably just don't even give a shit about. But it's like, that's where your bread and butter is coming from. So you got to like do it. And I don't know. For me, it's almost like, yeah, if you got some shitty job like working at McDonald's or something, and you obviously don't care about that, it's almost like that would be better than having to do it at one of those agencies where it's like maybe you are passionate about it, but it's almost like worse because you're like killing your passion by putting all your effort into this. Like it's almost like what you want to be doing, but not. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, at the beginning it didn't matter if I lose money for shows because I had my day job. But I worked 50 hours a week at the agency, and then I tried to do the whole artwork stuff and building a label and stuff like that. So I pretty much worked over 100 hours a week. So I really did this until 2018, but then I decided to quit my job. And go full on SBAM. So yeah, that's really what I want to do for a living. And it's not about the money. It's just I love doing artwork, and I love doing shows and festivals, and I love running the label. So and I think if you love something and you really be passionate about it, so it can be really successful. And I think we're on a good way to have a successful label and a successful festival. Yeah, that's all I want to have and all I want to do.
Well, it's interesting too that like I wanted to bring up that you're doing a label now too. Because you were doing the festival first, right? Like it all kind of, well, as far as like SBAM started with the festival, right?
Yeah, SBAM started originally with the artworks, then the festival.
Oh yeah.
And then for the second festival, we made a double LP with all the bands that was playing SBAM.
Oh, okay.
And then Consumed asked me if I want to put out their new EP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I didn't know how to run a label, but I just said yes. So I think all started with Consumed, and then the next thing was I Wish You Would Get Dead and No Fun at All. It kind of started really big at the beginning. But it was always not my priority. The priority was always artworks and festival.
Yeah.
And since the pandemic started, we really all focused on the label. And yeah, we really grows now, and we now have I all made this alone with the records and stuff like that, and now we have 6 people here at SBAM Records.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's pretty great. Like you were growing during the pandemic, then basically.
Yeah.
That's that's kind of an oddity. Like I don't know if a whole lot of businesses can say that, you know.
Yeah, but the main thing where we make our money is the festival. So
yeah,
I can't wait to have the festival back, and it pays our bills. We're not getting rich with the label, but it pays our bills and it makes fun. So, but we can't wait to have the festival back again. So
yeah, well, it sounds great. I mean, and I like that way of doing it, because another thing I've also said is that like bands, I don't know, it's almost like bands don't need labels these days unless the label is like, I don't know, what used to be like the label going like the extra mile should now got to be standard now, right? Like I don't know. I feel like there's some labels that would just be like, oh, here, we'll put your record out. Everything else is up to you, you know, like, but now it's got to be more like, yeah, maybe you have a festival, or maybe you like hook up the band with like an agent and be the manager and do all this extra stuff. Which I guess I'm assuming that you guys are kind of into more of that stuff since you have the festival and you do book shows and whatnot.
Yeah, totally. it's more like a brand.
Right,
There are
right, yeah.
tons of labels and festivals, but the cool thing is we have the festival, we have the label, and I can do the artworks. So it's a pretty good
Yeah.
package.
That's a good thing to have in house is like a good
Yeah,
art director or whatever you want to like label
yeah,
yourself as.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Hell yeah. That's good. And that's also gotta like add a bit to like, I don't know, like you said, it's like a brand. And if you
Yeah,
have like a signature art style for your brand,
yeah.
that's like everything, like
Mm.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Totally. Yeah, and we wanna the plan for the festival is go bigger. The
Yeah, of
last
course.
festival was pretty good. We had 1,000 people a day and it was sold out.
Oh,
But
nice.
now we have this cool new venue in Linz, where the capacity is around 5 to 6,000 people. And it's a whole big area directly in the center of the city,
Yeah.
near the river. And we have two stages, one outside stage and one indoor stage. And I really want to make this like the old Warped Tour style. We want to
Oh,
have a hot
yeah.
pipe there and some talks there and acoustic stage and everything. It's like a yeah, you don't have just to see bands. You can hang out there, grab your skateboards and yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like hanging out on the weekend.
Yeah. That sounds good to me, bud. All right. Yeah. We did the Warp Tour and it was like incredible. Like, I don't know if you're trying to raise it to the point where you like tour with it, but
Yeah,
that's a little nuts.
yeah,
But you said like so you grew from like, I don't know, you said 2018 you had like around 300 people, and
yeah,
then 2019 you had like over 1,000 every day.
yeah.
Now, that's some fucking growth right there.
Yeah, yeah, it's getting better and better. And now it was always the festival was always in the countryside, so
Oh
it was
yeah.
not in the center of a big city. If you can name Lanes like a big city, it's 250,000
Oh
people
yeah,
living
not
there.
bad.
But yeah, it's the first time that it should be in the city. So um, yeah, the city has a lot of potential, and yeah, let's see. But we trying to do some new stuff. All the kids under 18 get free entry to
Oh,
the
that's
festival.
cool.
So the thing is, I want to have the young kids going to festivals again and
Yeah.
listen to punk rock again, because when I grew up, we were listening to Lagwagon. We are driving 500-600 kilometers to a show,
Yeah.
and now that the kids don't do that anymore.
Yeah, of course. I
The
mean,
average age is around 30 at our festival.
yeah,
So I
right.
really want to have the kids listening to punk rock again, and I think it's a huge chance if you give them free entry that they will show
Yeah.
up and music.
Yeah, totally. And probably like if they get in free, they're still going to
Yeah,
spend money on like, well,
yeah,
probably not booze, but like,
yeah,
soda pop and merchandise and
yeah, yeah,
stuff like
totally.
that. Yeah.
They can't lose anything because they don't have to spend money to see the bands, and if they like it, they can stay. And yeah,
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, and there's a lot to be said. I hope that uh or like maybe this is part of that, like getting kids to uh embrace, I don't know, actually just going out and seeing a band for the first time before you actually heard them.
yeah,
Like, I remember when people used to do that and it was pretty cool because it was just like, I don't know, some people are going to be there that I know. Let's like a
yeah,
party and you go there and you see some new music for the first time. And it's like, it's a little different when you see a band playing and you get the full experience than when you just like, oh, this is a new band on Spotify. I got to check it out. And then you hear it and
yeah,
you're like, okay, I don't like it. Or I do like it. Maybe
yeah,
I'll go see them play. But it's
yeah,
like, yeah, just get out there and go see some shit. I
yeah,
think,
yeah, totally, totally, yeah,
and I think, now that we're getting back to having shows again pretty soon, um,
mm,
I think that people are going to be real thirsty for it. So You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know where you guys are, you know, like how you weathered the storm or whatever through this pandemic as far as the business, but you said you grew, so like you must be doing pretty good. But yeah, I think you guys could be like headed for a big year.
Yeah, totally. I think everybody is thirsty for shows and everything. So that's the reason why we want to really make this big next year.
Yeah.
And yeah, the bands that were headliners the last years now playing late in the afternoon because we try to getting bigger and have bigger and bigger bands. So,
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when is the festival actually?
It's
Like
the end of July.
end of July.
year.
So
Yeah.
do you have it? Is it scheduled for this year then?
At the moment, it's still scheduled, but it's not looking good because
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
yeah, people getting vaccinated here
Yeah.
now, but I don't want to do a festival with masks and restrictions. That's not a
Yeah,
punk
you don't want to
festival.
half-ass it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to make this like it was before the pandemic.
Yeah, right.
I want to have crowd surfing there. I want to have a mosh pit.
Right.
I don't want to have people standing there at tables and listening to maybe Lagwagoners. No effects. That's not a punk rock show.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for 2 weeks now, and we're talking to the government and see what's possible. But it's looking like we have to postpone it to next year.
Yeah. Well, bummer, but kind of understandable.
Yeah.
And you know, but so like I don't know, can you talk about like some of the bands you got? Like who's headlining?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
We're just looking. We're just waiting for the confirming of 2 headliners now.
All right. So stuff's not completely announced yet anyway, right?
No, we haven't announced any band yet.
Oh, okay.
So we're just waiting if we can have the festival this year, and if not, we're gonna announce the full lineup, most of the lineup in 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, but that's pretty soon. You guys are like, you're right on it.
The whole lineup is already booked for next year, except 2 bands.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we're just waiting for them to confirm, and then we can spread the word and announce the full lineup. Yeah.
Excellent.
Guitar players, I bet you thought you were shit out of luck when it comes to finding your dream guitar or amp. You know, you go on some auction site or something, and it's all crap. Yeah. Well, that's because, you know, you gotta look in the right place. And the right place is Yeah Man's Vintage and Used Guitars. They got exactly what you're looking for. Now, I know what you're thinking. Aren't they located in, like, Switzerland or something? Yeah, man, they are. Bern, Switzerland, to be exact. But, you know, you can get on the internet and you can go check out their website, yeahmansguitars.com, and you can order stuff on there. So, you know, it don't really matter where the heck you are in the world. You can just get on their website and find all sorts of cool stuff that you're looking for. And you might not even know that you wanted it until you see it on there, and there's a lot of good stuff. If you got something specific you're looking for and need some help finding it, just hit up Yeah Man Guitars on the electronic mail. That's the email. It's like 21st century, and you got email and websites. It's like amazing. Some people call it magic. Some people call it science. I just call it, I don't know, crazy shit. YeahMansGuitars@gmail.com. As far as email goes, it's the way email them. And while you're at it, get your band a tour in Europe and stop by the shop. Michael and the rest of the crew would love to meet you, I'm sure. And you can tell them Green sent you. Yeah Man's Vintage and Used Guitars.
Hi, Intruder Maniacs. Are you in a band? The answer is, of course you are. Everybody's in a fucking band these days. Anyway, if you're in a band, congratulations. I'm making the worst financial decision of your life. Aside from taking out college loans or something, yeah. Now there is a way to lessen the burden of such a financial decision. It's called merchandising. And Stupid Rad Merch Company is all ready to meet your merchandising needs. You want some t-shirts? Got a tight deadline you need them printed on? And because you booked a tour less than a month out and you didn't get canceled like everybody else's tours did? How about a bunch of weird random trinkets like keychains, medallions, and what about koozies? You know, like everybody likes koozies. Koozies are great because they keep your drink cold and your hand warm, or vice versa, depending on what you're drinking. Stupid Rad Merch Company can get all these made for you. Stupid Rad Merch Company is an in-house artist who can help you with your designs of stuff. They're still a small enough company
that they pay special attention to you and your special needs, because everybody's got special needs, like you probably mostly, and they even got a web store. That's where the real magic is. You go on tour and you sell your stuff, but chances are you're gonna have some left over, or some fans are gonna feel like left out because they didn't have enough money to buy something at your show. So they go on to stupidradmerch.com and find stuff from your band on there. They'll take care of all your production and shipping fulfillment needs. So go ahead, go on to Stupid Rad Merch Company's web store right now and check out all the tight bands that are already on there. They got a bunch of them, like got the Bomb Pops and like the Bad Cop and stuff. It's all good. All sorts of cool swag. And right now, if you go on there and at checkout you use the code PRISON, you can get 15% off all of the Stupid Rad Merch branded apparel at stupidradmerch.com. Go check it out.
stupidradmerch.com.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, you have a very beautiful picture behind you. Is that your artwork?
Yeah, that's my artwork. I have a friend of mine. We moved to a new office now, and a friend of mine is a graffiti artist.
Yeah.
And he sprayed a lot of my artworks in the office. So yeah.
Oh, so like he just kind of recreated stuff that you had drawn and like redid it on your walls?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice. So yeah, for anybody who's listening, it's this beautiful picture of all I can see is like it looks like a lady's shoes with some panties coming down around her ankles, with some yellow stuff, and a guy's licking it up. Looks very I don't know what the word is, like digressive. I think that's a good word for it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think this was one of my first artworks I made. So.
Oh yeah, good. When you were like 12? Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, about the record label now though. You got the one band, you're doing something with Get Dead. Did I hear?
Yeah. We're doing a repress of their EP now. It's gonna be the pre-order starts next week. But we have a lot of records coming out this year. We have a Poly 10-inch, acoustic 10-inch. Then we have another Poly project coming up at the end of September or October.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we also working on tons of stuff, and we're gonna release the new album from Russ Rankin.
Oh, all right. He's doing like a solo thing?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And we're working on some new Pulley stuff, hopefully some new Fun at All stuff. Yeah, we have tons of projects coming up, but I can't talk about it right now because
it ain't announced yet. Yeah, that I totally understand. I was just wondering like what the growth has been like, I guess, more than anything over this last year. Because it's maybe not the best year to have a festival, or at least last year wasn't, but it's probably a good year to be like, recording some new tunes, writing songs totally. And stuff. Yeah.
We had really a pretty good year with all the releases. We are now the label for Days and Days in Europe for their old stuff, and we just signed the Bridge City Sinners. All
right.
Yeah, like Pulley. We did some repress of some old Bad Cop stuff.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that one too.
Yeah,
because we're good friends with them.
Chaser, Krang. We just released a Joey Cape split. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Shit, I lost it. Anyway, so like if I could talk about you for a little bit, you said you're originally from Austria. I guess you probably lived there your whole life, I would assume.
Yeah.
And you've always been into punk rock. I guess you're probably around considering what you said you were listening to when you were younger, I'm guessing you're about my age, which is a good age to be. But like, what was it like, getting into punk rock in Austria when you were like a kid, like maybe a teenager or something? Like, because for me, like, it was America, and it was a lot of that stuff was happening in America. But like, I don't know, did you kind of have to get it imported, or was it also kind of blowing up there as well?
And I was totally blowing up there. I think it all started with Green Day.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was listening to Green Day back then, and then Offspring came.
Oh yeah.
All of my friends were listening to Green Day and Offspring, and I think this was a pretty good starting point for them to listening to punk rock and getting into other bands. For me, it was, I think the first band was NoFX.
Oh yeah.
My older brother had always this cassette tape in his car, and we were listening to it all the time. And he always said it were the Sex Pistols, and I bought all their records, and they sounded like shit. And I couldn't find the songs that was playing on the tape, and so I grabbed some NoFX LPs, and yeah,
it was actually NoFX the whole time.
And then I think we drove twice a week to the record store, and we just looked at all the covers, and then we listened to their music, and then all these fat samplers came on, and this was all the starting point with Lagwagon and NoFX, News for a Name, all this Diesel Boy, Propaganda.
Oh yeah, Diesel Boy. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think I bought the whole back catalog from Fat Records back then. So
yeah, it sounds like it.
All my friends were listening to punk rock, and there were all these cool shows, like Traction Tour, where Mighty Mighty Bosstones played, and all these bands from the States played, and everybody was listening to punk rock because there was then American Pie, and
oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole
like the movie. Oh yeah. I never heard that soundtrack, but I seen the movie.
Yeah, there was Pie, Sound 41, but this was mainstream shit. But everybody was listening to this music, so, and they all listened to the other bands. So the mid '90s and early 2000s were pretty great to grow up and listen to the music. And
hell yeah, I believe it to be true. I will agree with that completely. It was a good era, and now we're kind of like in this weird spot where there's some good new tunes coming out, but it's not necessarily punk rock. But then there is punk rock, and who knows where it's gonna go? But I think that maybe with everything that's going on in the world these days, at least in America, people are like, time for some more punk rock. Because it's like, it's good. It gets you going.
Yeah, hopefully. I just when I open my Spotify account, I always get this playlist, some new punk rock music. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at the playlist, and there was stuff like Machine Gun Kelly and shit like that. And
yeah, I don't know what that sounds like. I've seen posts about that because like just on the social medias and whatnot, but I've never actually listened to it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually going to like this.
No, I don't think so. I just looked them up, and there was all this stuff you should listen to when you listen to Machine Gun Kelly. And all these bands have 200 million streams for every song.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I feel like maybe they're cheating. Like maybe they just invest in a bunch of like cell phones.
Yeah.
And every night they make them put their album on repeat. Mm-hmm. Or every day, really. It just keeps repeating their album on Spotify so they get these tons of streams.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going on. I bet it. I believe it.
Yeah, I believe too, because no one of my friends are listening to this kind of music.
Yeah. Well, it's probably actually more realistically, it's probably the kids that are listening to it, which is why it's important to let them in for free to your festivals so they can experience a real like good show. But actually, speaking of that, like, what about like new bands? Are you working with like? Is there like? I don't know. This is just like, if you could think of anybody like or relate to this at all, like, are there new bands around that you're trying to book for the festival or anything that like is there a scene for it these days? Because like what we're talking about now is obviously like what people are saying is punk rock, is this Machine Gun Kelly, whatever. But like, is there like some cool is there some new kids on the block that are doing some new cool shit?
I always love to support young bands from Europe, or it don't matter if they're from Europe or from the States. But we have around 30 bands at the SBAM Fest, and half of the bands are from my record label.
All right, good.
So we can play there and sell their merch or their records there. But we're always supporting young bands and releasing their records and helping them out. Yeah, there are a lot of cool bands here in Europe, but they have to tour, and that's the problem right now. They're not selling records because nobody knows them and they can't tour. But like I said, we have 10 to 15 bands from the label playing at the SBAM Festival, and we're also trying to have a lot more female bands there.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's a main goal also for the label. There are a lot of cool bands also from the States. I love the Venomous Pinks. Do you know them?
Yeah, actually, that was the last interview I did with with one of the ladies from that.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, it was interesting because we played with them while we were on tour, just randomly at some show, and I don't know, it was weird because they were on tour as well, but they weren't like originally booked. Some crazy shit went down where like the original venue got canceled because the roof fell in or something. And then we got like thrown on this show, but the headliner got kicked off and we took their spot, and we found out about that later. And we were like, that doesn't sound too cool, but I guess we're going to play this show. But anyway, we played with them and got to talk to them, and they're super cool. I would definitely say, people should check them out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask too: is SBAM is the record label like kind of more Europe centric, or are you guys like pushing records all over the place? Like, can I buy some stuff that you guys are putting out in the States?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you got that distro.
Yeah, for most of our bands, we do worldwide deals, and we're searching for partners and other labels to distribute them. And we also have them on Kings Road, or we're trying to get them at all the record stores, but mostly we're distributing them to the States or Canada.
And so how does it work? Like if I'm in America and I want to order a record from you, like say directly from the label, do I got to pay like overseas shipping and stuff? Or do you got like,
if you pay directly from our store, you have to pay the shipping for the US, but you can also order it from like People of Punk Rock Records or
all right. So that's why it's important to have like partners and stuff.
Partner
labels.
Shipping is fucking expensive.
Yeah, for sure. Like
it's weeks to get them there. But that's really important.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Man. Well, I hope that works out great. Because I don't know. Fucking there's a lot of good European bands too going on that like have been for a long time actually. We're friends with quite a few of them. We love touring Europe and whatnot. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to bring up, but I got one last question for you.
Nothing specific. I'm just hoping that everything with the pandemic is will be over this year, so we can all hang out at the shows. And
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really miss this. It's been almost 2 years, or 1.5 year that I
Yeah.
went to a show. The last show was Bad Cup in my hometown, and on the other day we made an acoustic set in the office.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
after that, they shut down the whole country, and this was pretty much the last real concert.
That's funny because Bad Cop was the last show I saw too.
Really?
Yeah, they played in where I am. Yeah, I mean we're pretty close. We're pretty near each other. So yeah, they were on their way to France actually shortly after that. And I remember that because it was starting to go down like right when they were here, and they were like getting all worried about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that sucks. And yeah, something happened where it was like because France got so messed up right away, they basically closed the borders, and it was like they couldn't get to the rest of their tour really without going through France. Like maybe they could have gone around, but it would have taken like an extra day basically. So they just, at that point, plus everybody else was like having problems. So it was like, yep, time to cancel the tour. So yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was totally the last show I saw too.
I think this was one of the last shows. I think they played also Switzerland, then.
Yeah.
But all the shows in Italy got canceled because
Italy that's what it was. Yeah.
But pretty worse there. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. And it still is, you're right. But hopefully it's going to be over soon. And I'm very excited to see what happens with you guys. And even if Mass Intruder can't play, like I said, I'm close by. So I would love to come to the festival once it happens.
Yeah, you're invited. You just hit me up and you can come.
Well, hang. Yeah. It's going to be wonderful once that stuff happens again.
Are you the whole year in Germany, or you're always in Germany, or?
I'm always in Germany at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you why later. It's my lawyer says I got to keep it a secret. Put it that way. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one last question, because the theme of the show is crime stories. Do you got any crime stories?
Got any crime stories?
Yeah. I know they like to hang fast and loose in Austria, but
that I didn't have any real crime stories. I don't have any meeting points with the police because they're not really,
because there's no police in Austria. And the streets are paved in gold.
Oh. There are a lot of police in Austria, but they don't care about us.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah, that's really cool because we have our new office really at the hotspot in Linz, and they never showed up. No, they showed up once.
The hotspot? What do you mean the hotspot?
Yeah, there's this old town where we're in, where all the bars are, where all the people are hanging out and getting drunk, and there are tons of kids there, and everybody's getting stabbed there in the night. So
oh shit.
It's really easy here because they don't care about any office. We have all these posters hanging out in front of their office with the NoFX None poster with their boobs hanging out, and
they
don't care. They showed up once and said what we are doing here, and one guy loved NoFX, so
of course
it's all pretty easy here.
Yeah, well, I'll take that. That sounds like a crime story. You had an interaction with the cops once.
I really had I don't have any problems with the cops, but a colleague of mine, last week or 2 weeks ago, just the two of us in the office, and he drove home with his bike and crashed the bike in front of the police, and so he got arrested, and
shit,
he was fucking drunk, and now he's got a fine for $2,000 or something like that.
Yeah, drunken biking is a weird thing because it's like, yeah, it's weird because people don't think about it. It's like, obviously, drunken driving ain't cool. I mean, it might be fun, but it's definitely not cool.
No, it's absolutely not cool.
Yeah. And for obvious reasons. But then you don't necessarily think about it when you're riding a bike drunk because you're just like, whatever, this is fun. I'm maybe on a sidewalk or maybe I'm on the street, but I'm on a bike. I'm not going to hurt nobody. But then again, you could like crash into a car and then the car has to swerve and then maybe takes out a family of 5 or some shit. So, you know, you got to watch out for that. And then the cops are like, and you definitely don't want to crash into the cops because
absolutely not.
They will fucking arrest you. All right. Yeah. Well, all right, man. It was really good finally meeting you. I know we've been like kind of like throwing a message back and forth, like, I don't know, it feels like maybe some years now.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the festival, and I would definitely like to come once we finally get out of this shit.
Yeah, totally. Like I said, you're invited. You can stay at our place the whole weekend and let's hang out.
Oh yeah. Plus, I love Austria. It's beautiful down there, over there. I don't know if you're down or over or what.
Down there, yeah.
Because that's where the Alps are.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
but not in Lane. But yeah, we are actually at the border to Germany. It's just 50 kilometers away from the border to Germany.
Oh, tight.
So yeah.
So I could like ride my bike there, probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But not drunk.
Yeah, you know, maybe a little bit. If I'm in the Alps, then there's no cars to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. Also, I don't want to bike through the Alps. That sounds terrible. Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I'll let you go. And it was good talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
And that's it for the Intruder Green podcast. You can hit me up on all the socials at Intruder Green, or go to intrudergreen.com for lots of cool stuff, including the Intruder Green merch store, which it's not necessarily Intruder Green stuff. I just got a bunch of like legitimately found merch on there, and it's for Europeans too. Like I'm over here in Europe, and you can fucking get whatever you want in there and deliver it to Europe. So, it's live. You go to intrudergreen.com. There's a link to the web store around there and lots of other stuff. But yeah, I'll be promoting that a lot more once I get stuff more figured out. But you can get stuff on there and go check it out. We're even selling at least one Master Intruder album on there. I think we got CDs and records. But anyway, the Intruder Green call-in line is +1 608 535 9608. Patreon.com/Intruder Green if you just want to give me money. Produced by Colin Bennett. Management, Aka Kramer. Hair and makeup by Genevieve Smith. Set design by Dylan Raymer. Catering, Matthew Hendershot. Lighting, Sweet Lights, Rahway, New Jersey. Our theme song is Particles by Pipe Bros. Let's burn some dust here. Eat my rubber.